The world believes that school... See, there's an equation. The world believes that school equals socialization. The world thinks this. This is completely wrong. Everybody says it, it's in all the books, but it's not true. It's just not true. It's a myth. It's a myth, it's mythology, it's fantasy. School does not equal socialization. And I can explain why. School does not equal socialization because what is society? Society is the world around us that we have to live in. And when you live in the world, you have to make choices. You have to make choices because choices are what we have in a free world, in a free society. And this whole concept of choices and freedom create a positive society for us to live in. There are no choices and there is no freedom in school. Therefore, school cannot give us socialization because it cannot give us a positive society, because it doesn't have choices and it doesn't have freedom. It doesn't have real choices, because real choice is when you can say no. Real choice is when you can say no, I don't want this, thank you very much, and it's okay. There's no negative consequence, there's no punishment. Oh, let me explain. The average child spends 6 to 8 hours a day in school. So they learn about school. They're in school, they learn about school, they experience school. They do not experience society. They do not experience the real world. Because the real world is a place where you can say, no, I don't want something, and you have to live with the consequences. In school, there's no opportunity to say no. In school, they give you 10 different flavors of ice cream, and they say, would you like strawberry ice cream? Would you like vanilla ice cream? Would you like chocolate ice cream? Would you like, I don't know, stracciatella. I like that myself. Stracciatella ice cream. Yeah. And you must choose one of those types of ice cream. Maybe I want to say thank you very much, but I really don't like this selection of ice creams. But you don't understand, you must choose this ice cream. See, that's cool. There's a selection of choices that you must choose, because if you don't choose them, you have no future if you don't choose them, which is not true, because everybody can create their own life in their own way, in their own world. And I think that it's great to have all these choices. I think it's fantastic. But even better is to have another choice, which is to say, all of those are great, but I would like to do something different. And that's what school doesn't have, but society does have. Society has this extra choice. And basically what school teaches you, if you don't follow the rules, you're finished. School teaches you, if you don't follow the rules, you're finished. Which is training for society, because if you don't follow the rules of society, you go to prison. It's training for society, but it's not positive training. Because it's based on fear and not love. And this construct of fear is very difficult because, once again, children don't have a system to control their own fear. They live in a world of fear created by adults for them. And it's very frightening and it's very scary for them. And this idea that in school you learn to be social is not possible, because school has basically the same rules as prison. School has basically the same rules as prison. Now, prison has a society. Prison has people who are social, but it's not the real world. It's not the real world. It's an artificial world. It's a fantasy world. It's a construct. It's a matrix. The same way that school has its community, school has its society, but it's a matrix. It's a matrix. It's not real. The real world is a very different place. On the other side, you can learn a lot of things, but you don't learn to be social. You learn to survive. Because you can't make friends with them because they're in a different class from you. They're in a different year. They're different. How can you socialize when you spend every day with the same group of people in the same room, or the same rooms if you're moving around? Oh, they're not in the same room, they move. Yeah, to be with the same group of people over here, to be with the same group of people over here. How can you learn when you spend all your time with people who are the same age as you, with the same experience as you? If you spend all your time with everyone who is the same as you can't learn anything at all. Society is different because society is all mixed. The old, the young, the sane, the crazy. They're all mixed together. Yeah, that's society. School is very, very focused in specialized groups and classes where you can learn skills, and that's great. You can learn your math skill, your biology skill, your geography skill, your language skill. That's fantastic. But you can never learn social skills because you're never mixed. You're always with the same group of people. And so why are people antisocial? Because there's no real social world in school. And then when they leave school and go into the real world, they don't really know how to communicate with anybody because they have no experience communicating with anybody. They have no experience communicating with people who are younger. They have no experience communicating with people who are older. They don't have any experience with it. And so this antisocial behavior later is just a mirror of what they experience in school. Because if you live in the real world the same way you live in school, you can't live in the real world the same way you live in school. Because in school, everything is organized for you. You can go to school and basically do nothing and pass. But in the real world, you can't. You can't go out into the real world and basically do nothing and pass. You've got to work at it. You've got to work hard. So that's my perspective on socialization in school.